So the Miami Dolphins went to Indianapolis Colts and ended up losing by 3 points off of a game-winning field goal by Adam Vinatieri, the freaking GOAT that has the amazing leg.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
Now, before I go over some stats or whatever like I usually do, I'm just going to go over the order in which both teams scored. So first, Miami scored, I think, on the first offensive drive. Like, that was the first time they've done it all season long, scoring a touchdown on the first offensive drive, right? And then the Colts scored as well. Eric Ebron, I saw him get onto the field, and I knew the Colts were going up to with him, going for him for the ball, for the touchdown. And who else? None other than him. The first play he gets on the field is a one-play touchdown for him. So, whatever. I literally saw it. Once he got on the field, I'm like, they're going to go to Eric Ebron. They're going to Eric Ebron. They're going to Eric Ebron. I have him on my fantasy. I knew that, like, this is what's been happening so far this season. So I knew that that was going to happen. And none else than that happened. Whatever. Then Jack Doyle gets a touchdown. Then Leonte Crew gets this amazing 74-yard touchdown that he freaking grabs out of the air and takes it to the house. And then to follow that, then the Dolphins get a field goal coming out of halftime. Then Kenyon Drake has a 14-yard run. So Dolphins are up 24-14 at that point. A 10-point lead. Oh, you would hope it's safe with these great Miami Dolphins. No, they have to allow a field goal. Then a touchdown. And then the game-winning field goal after they give the ball back to the Colts with 3 minutes or so left, having one timeout taken off the board already because I forgot why they used it, and then not giving the ball to Tannehill on third down instead of rushing it. Got it. They're trying to fix the field position for your punter because you're more likely thinking you're gonna go punter. I rather would have had the Dolphins throw for 3 straight plays. Like, get out of that bad field position that you put yourself into. Enough of that rant. Now I'm going to jump into some stats for both teams. Let's start with the Dolphins. So, Ryan Tannehill had a decent first game back. It's nothing too crazy. He went 17 for 25, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he was sacked once. But it was for like -3 yards. It wasn't horrendous. That being said, he should have had more opportunities, and the offense really just messed that up for him. Not only that, but then also we had Frank Gore, who was running the ball pretty effectively. He had about 5 yards per carry. He had 14 carries for 67 yards, and we had Kenyon Drake follow him with 8 carries for 32 yards, and he had a touchdown rushing and another touchdown receiving. So he had 5 receptions for 64 yards and a receiving touchdown as well, Kenyon Drake. Leonte Crew had 1 reception for 74 yards and a touchdown. And Darren Smythe, surprisingly, he got like 2 balls. He had 27 yards on the day. And the rest of our receivers honestly did not step up. Danny Amendola, 1 reception. Devontae Parker had 3 receptions, but for 10 yards, so whatever. Kenny Stills 1 reception. Mike Gesicki 1 reception. I mean, the guys who really started off their season, besides Drake, only caught 1 ball. You need more production out of your receivers. He can't be one of your leading receivers. You need to have a receiver. And the Dolphins have been lacking that lately with the losses of Jakeem Grant and Albert Wilson. But the thing about our offense was never that we had a go-to guy since the beginning of the season. No, we had players who will step up and dominate a game if we needed them to. Albert Wilson did that very often. There was just some games that the Tennessee game, Kenny Stills had himself a game. Like, there's games like that. Now, defensively, TJ McDonald and Akeem Spence both recovered a fumble. So, it says Jerome Baker forced the fumble, but it was really TJ McDonald. So either not Raekwon McMillan forced a fumble, but it didn't say it on the stat sheet, so I'm not really sure who to really follow there. But anyways, following that, I have TJ McDonald with 11 tackles. Following him is Rashad Jones with 8, Akeem Spence 7, Raekwon McMillan 7, Kiko Alonso 6, Xavier Howard 5, Walt Aikens 3, Minka Fitzpatrick 3, Jerome Baker 3, the rest are 2s. Rashad Jones had 2 interceptions off of Andrew Luck. Both came within the final 2 minutes of the first half, and it was such a weird sequence of events. Interception, right? Then the first play for the Dolphins, we fumble it. Mike Gesicki catches the ball, fumbles it, it flies, whatever, and then the next play, which is the Colts' offensive first play, interception again by Xavier Howard. So it's crazy. Xavier Howard got 2 interceptions back-to-back plays off of Andrew Luck. It was very crazy. So let's jump into the Colts. Andrew Luck, it's riding hot. He went 30 for 37 for 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, both to Xavier Howard. And he was sacked once for negative 10 yards. So Dolphins got to him. They had another sack that was taken away off of a penalty, but overall Dolphins did well. And Jacoby Brissett threw one pass for 1 completion, and it was for 4 yards, and it was to Andrew Luck. So if you're wondering what happened, Andrew Luck went out wide. Minka Fitzpatrick was on him. He was pointing. Rashad Jones come over to guard him. He was gonna blitz because he saw something that was funny. He did. He went to go blitz, but it wasn't in time. Rashad Jones didn't cover Andrew Luck in time. Andrew Luck ended up catching the ball. Whatever. So let's go into the running backs. Marlon Mack had 15 carries for 85 yards. He was averaging about 6 yards per carry. He was doing well, and then he got taken out of the game in the third quarter. He got injured somehow. Whatever. Then Nyheim Hines, I might said his name wrong. His number 21, I think. He had 9 carries for 28 yards, so he didn't do all too crazy, but it was more Mack was on the field, Marlon Mack. Receiver-wise, they had their guy, T.Y. Hilton, who's, like I said, a dynamic duo of Andrew Luck. He had 7 receptions for 125 yards. He was lighting up our defense. And Chester Rogers always seemed to be open at the right time. He had 3 receptions for 49 yards. Just really bothers me. And Eric Ebron had 2 touchdowns. So he had 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and 45 yards. Every time he's on the field, I just feel like the ball's going to go his way. And the majority of the time it did. So not much the Dolphins did there to stop any of that. Defensively, I kept on hearing this name, and I tweeted I'm really getting tired of hearing this guy's name. But Darius Leonard, he's a rookie, and he's the tackle leader of the NFL so far this season. And he had 10 tackles on the day. He's a real deal. He's really good. So congrats to the Colts for finding a guy like that. And following him was Anthony Walker with 9 tackles, Clayton Getters with 6, Mike Mitchell with 4, and the rest are about 3 tackles or less. Dolphins needed this game. Plain and simple. Playoff chances are less likely after a loss like this, especially to a team that you probably needed a tiebreaker down the line with, and that's honestly it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a nice thumbs up. If you think the Dolphins have a chance of making the playoffs, give it another thumbs up. So double thumbs up for the Dolphins to get to the playoffs. And if you haven't done yet, subscribe to my channel by Austin Ramos. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a video, click the bell option. It will notify you every single time I upload a video. And also follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram. I'm more active on my Twitter, obviously. I was talking a lot about the game today. And I also will just notify you guys whenever I'm uploading a video. So check those out.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.